Hi, I'm Rick Scalzo. I am here to talk a bit today about regenerative life and herbs. And the herb we want to explore our conversation today with is rosemary. I am standing in a beautiful rosemary patch here. And this is, we're in Italy, and this is an indigenous variety of rosemary that grows here in Cilento, in the southern part of Italy. And I've been observing this plant all week here, and it's been speaking to me in a language that I want to share with you today. You know, everybody has talked about the beneficial value of rosemary in our diet, and we use it in our cooking. We use it to roast potatoes. We use it to make tea with. You know, we've talked a lot about rosemary this week in having a morning tea with mint and lemon and ginger. By the way, it tastes so great. And but one thing I'm observing when I'm actually with the plant in nature is its signature. There's something that we learned in herb school, the concept of the Doctrine of Signatures. And the Doctrine of Signatures teaches us that every plant has a signature, and it reveals that signature through the organoleptic features, the aspect of the visual elements of the plant, the way the plant, the fragrance of the plant, the way it feels when you touch it, the way it looks. So all of these components, we call them signatures, actually give a clue to what the plant is used for. In the case of this beautiful Cilento species of rosemary, just observe how long the branches are. They're quite long. Observe how long the stems on the branches are, and observe how long the needles are. So what I'm learning from this plant is how effective it might be for reaching out to the extremities of the body. This is, you know, just looking at this, it says, I'm reaching out for more. I'm growing more outwardly and upwardly. And so this teaches us that rosemary might be good for carrying blood flow to the extremities. And what I mean by that is we have a lot of capillaries, tiny capillaries, and a lot of blood vessels in our body that carry blood flow to the extreme, to the feet, to the hands, and to the head. And it's very important that all of these tiny capillaries have movement through them. And rosemary is the one herb that I rely on for what we call microvascular circulation. And that means that it helps to promote the blood flow through these tiny capillaries and blood vessels so that it reaches our extremities and it reaches our head and reaches our brain. So no wonder why rosemary has become useful for circulatory value. It's become useful for cognitive value, and it's one of our great talked about herbs for memory enhancement. So I really find that rosemary for me is one of the herbs of this time and this age where we tend to build more stagnation in our bodies. We tend to build more inflammation in our bodies. And rosemary is a herb that helps to clear stagnation. It helps to clear inflammation. And I love this plant because it's so versatile in how we can use it. And I've mentioned we can cook with it. One of my favorite recipes, there's actually two that I'll share, is using rosemary with lemon and mint and ginger. I cut up the plants, all of them, and put them in water and steep that water, slow simmer it, then steep it for a good half hour. It makes a nice morning tea, and then drink a cup or two of that tea every day. And it tastes great, but it's very, very therapeutic for you. Another way I like to use rosemary is in my salad dressing. So I'll go out and I'll harvest a couple of branches of rosemary, take the sprigs, strip the needles off the sprigs, And then with mint, with fresh mint, I'll chop it up on a cutting board real finely, create a nice small bowl of chopped rosemary and mint. Then I'll add a little olive oil and mix it together. And finally, I'll add a little of this beautiful rose white balsamic vinegar that I get, which is quite sweet. And I'll mix it all together, and it becomes a thick add-in to my salad. So I'll turn it into the salad, and it just flavors the salad just so beautifully, but gives me the opportunity to get more rosemary into my diet. A third way I like to use it is in a sauce that I make with tomatoes and basil and oregano and some garlic, and I simmer that all up while I'm cooking lean white fish. And right before the fish is fully cooked, I'll take it out of the oven and transport it into the pan where I have this sauce brewing with lots of rosemary in it, and I'll finish off the cooking simmering it in this sauce. And that's another way for me to take rosemary into my daily diet. So it's so versatile that way to be used in our cooking, and it's one that I can't say enough of in order to speak to the health benefits of rosemary. So I hope everybody uses it. It's used a lot in some of our Kokora formulas. So, you know, for me, we just like to incorporate it in every opportunity. It's one of the herbs that serves the, you might say, the stimulating value of a herbal formula, meaning that it moves the vital force through the system to all points in the system. So this is why I like to include it in some of our herbal formulas at Kokora. So in any event, I give a lot of gratitude to rosemary. I think it's an amazing herb, and I hope you'll all get to try it and incorporate it in your diet and in your overall daily routine.